What is going on, guys? My name is Ben. How are you guys doing today? What I have for you today in this video, as I said before, is I'm giving you a versus battle right here between two products that serve the same purpose, and it's made for different types of people, different types of situations, and I'm going to explain all that in this video. This video, as I said, not only is it a versus battle, it's more like a comparison between the two, so you guys can pick out to see which one is your preference. So for those of you that are in these kinds of situations and want to pick up one of these products, you'll know which one you want to get. Let's first start off right here on the left side. This is the Pluggable SATA hard drive docking station. What it does, same thing with the Sabrent right here. What they do is they take an internal hard drive, whether it's a 3.5-inch desktop hard drive, 2.5-inch laptop hard drive, solid state drive, or hybrid drives, whatever. It takes these internal drives and you can use them externally via USB. Alright? And you get some stuff with the Pluggable right here. Of course, you do get your your power cord right here, or a power brick, and this basically just plugs into the wall, and then you have this end right here that plugs into the product itself. Alright, then you have a USB cable, which the good thing about this product is it supports USB 3.0, and you have USB on one end for the computer, and then you have this part right here for the product itself, which is right here. And I did mention in my, I think it was my unboxing video or my review, I can't remember, that I thought this was proprietary, but he was saying, no, that's actually the standard for USB 3.0 for certain devices that uses this kind of plug. So, okay, thanks for the information, and this is not proprietary, guys. Alright, and as far as the specs is concerned about this is pretty much supports any hard drive out there, and it goes up to 6 gigabytes per second, and it takes advantage of the serial ATA3 drives, and this is used for fast storage backups. Alright, and that's pretty much the basic specs for this thing. All I'm saying is you want to go with something with USB 3.0 these days, and in the future, if they do make anything higher than USB 3.0, go for it, because USB 3.0 is a big jump compared to USB 2.0. You can take a certain file that takes 2 minutes to transfer over to a USB 2.0 drive, and if you have a USB 3.0 connection, it's going to make that file fly by in, I would say, maybe 10 to 15 seconds. So USB 3.0 is definitely a big jump, and I definitely recommend it. Now, let me show you guys how this works. So, this is your the Pluggable one right here, and as you can see, it is big. I mean, look at that compared to my hand, and your SATA plug is right here. So that way you can install the SATA drives externally like this. So basically you just slide it, and that's basically it. You plug in your cables and you can start using this thing, and you will be able to hear the hard drive spinning. And of course, if it's a bad hard drive that makes noise when you're shaking, I mean, I'm assuming that's what it is, a bad hard drive, then possible chance it could make more noise, but hopefully you're just doing that to back up the drive. And of course, this has an on switch right here, and of course with a LED indicator. Now let's take a look at the Sabrent. So as you can see, this is pretty much what the Sabrent is, and it comes with a little bit more pieces. So you have the power supply right here with the power cord, which the power cord is actually plugged into the wall right now, and you have a Molex power connector. In addition, you have a SATA power cable, because SATA power does not take Molex. As you can see, this is Molex right here. So you basically take this Molex connection and then plug it in here, like so, and then you have your SATA power right there. And this one is for a case fan, I'm assuming, it's basically to test your fans out, I guess, before you put it into your system. And then, of course, you have your SATA transfer cable right there. As far as specs are concerned with the Sabrent one, there's not much really to it. I mean, it'll support any USB standard out there, whether you have USB 2.0, USB 1.1 if you want to go back with that. And please note, these two products right here are both Mac compatible, while it's PC compatible. So for those of you that own Macs, you can use these two. Now, I feel like these two products are made for different types of people in different kinds of situations. Now, first, different types of people. Why am I saying that? This is basically more like the Pluggable one right here is basically more like for somebody who's always doing backups or pulling files off and then moving files, moving files back and forth, data, whatever the case may be, documents, and more than likely they're either at an office or at their own home doing this versus having to go to somebody else's house or a certain work site and then having to do all that on the go. This one, to me, is made more like for traveling and to not take up as much room as this one right here. And this one is heavy. But if you look at this one is like the size of a credit card. Well, almost the size of a credit card. I mean, as you can see how thick that is. Here it is compared to my iPhone in terms of the thickness is concerned. As you can see, it is a little bit thicker than the iPhone, but it is smaller than the iPhone. Alright, which is an iPhone 5, by the way. And this is more like for if you're going all over the place to help somebody out if their operating system got corrupted, but they can still get access to their files even if the hard drive was dead. Plug this thing in, plug the hard drive in, and then you can start pulling files off and then pretty much backing up the user's personal data, so that way they don't have to suffer through the fact that they lost it all. And that's pretty much how I feel about these products, and you can even tell right away just by looking at the packaging. I mean, here is the one by Pluggable, and here's the one by Sabrent. As you can see the thickness between the Sabrent and the Pluggable. Alright? And they pretty much serve the same purpose. And of course, with the Sabrent, it's better for on the go, but I also paid a little bit more for the Sabrent than I did for the Pluggable. The Pluggable cost me at the time, I bought this a while ago, I would say June or May of 2014, and at the time it cost me 25 bucks. Now recently I checked on Amazon, it was like 22 something, and then when I bought this Sabrent right here, it cost me like almost $35 from Tiger Direct and with shipping and everything included. Alright, they still have that deal going on where it is 30 bucks. I believe that is the official price for it. And then of course I got charged shipping, so that's pretty much it. And you want to go cheaper, go ahead and get Amazon and hopefully get another product to meet the requirements for the free shipping with an order of $35 or more. And it is a possibility you could take the Pluggable and go around town. I really wouldn't recommend it. As you can see how big and bulky it is, but that doesn't mean it's bad. This is more like a stationary, where you just let it sit there and you don't take it anywhere. This one, with all these other extra parts right here, I could just take it, toss it in my backpack, and I am putting it in my backpack lately, just to leave it in there in case if something goes wrong with my computer and there's another one nearby. I'll just hook this up and then pull off any files I have and then think about whether I'm going to reinstall my operating system or if I'm just going to, if the hard drive is bad, then trash it, get a new one. all I do is just keep all my parts in this box right here, and then close it up, and just drop this in my backpack, and that's it. I mean, and my backpack, I wouldn't say is big. I mean, I don't know if I think I've done a review on this backpack before, and I'm still using it today. I could not imagine trying to fit this box in there. I mean, it is possible, but it's going to take up more room, and then where am I going to put all my textbooks and then my lab manuals? And my laptop bag is pretty much full with the computer itself, the charger, the mouse, and then I got some extra stuff in there, some CDs, and whatever the case may be, just in case if I needed those, I have those available with me. And with this in my backpack, it's just going to take a lot of room, and then I won't be able to fit more stuff on there. This one I can take no problems. So really, which one do you want to get? It really depends on you. If you are somebody who is always at home or always in an office throughout most of the day, and you only do your repairs at your spot, your home, your office, your repair facility, whatever the case may be, you always do your repair stationary, this is the one you want to get. If you're always on the go, you always have your laptop, and you're helping customers out in trying to save their data without having to erase everything, then I recommend you hook this up by using this one and do whatever you have to do, and then once you're all set, transfer the files back, and then you're done. Alright, so this is more for the stationary. Again, this is more for the traveling person. Now, if I have not bought these, which one would I have gotten? Well, it really depends. Me personally, I would much rather get the Sabrent right here, even though it's going to cost me more than the Pluggable, and here's why. First of all, size does not matter. I have no problems with the size of this thing whatsoever. The thing is, this is used for hard drives, SATA hard drives. This is used for SATA and IDE. Right? As you can see, there's an IDE connector for 3.5 inch, and there's an IDE connector for 2.5 inch. Now, eventually I won't have IDE drives anymore once they all start to go bad, but the benefit for this one is I can plug up an optical drive externally. So let's say if I end up trying to fix a computer, which was an Ultrabook, or the newer MacBooks, the MacBook Pro Retina display and the MacBook Air, those computers do not have optical drives. Same thing with a netbook, and in case I need to reinstall the operating system, how am I going to do it if I can't pop the disk in there? This one, I can't use an optical drive because this was made specifically for hard drives. This was made for hard drives and optical drives, and they were able to do this just by making this little device right here, and then using this power supply right here for power with a power switch right there. So, like I said before, even though this costs a little bit more, I would much rather have gotten this. Now, why did I get this in the first place? Because back then, or I should say last year, like almost a year ago, I did not feel comfortable leaving hard drives like these just outside like this. Because if I'm going to be using it plugged in externally, I'm almost afraid that something is going to touch the board right here, and then it's going to mess up the hard drive. I've always heard people say you do not want to touch this green board on the hard drive because your fingers are very sensitive to electrons, and you could possibly screw something up. And someone thought differently and said that's not the case. You should not worry about it if your finger's going to be touching the green part. And I guess I kind of agree with both sides there. But me personally, if you can try avoiding touching this board, I suggest you do it. Unless you absolutely have to, if you know what you're doing and you want to take this board apart to fix the hard drive, so that way if there was a mechanical problem and you know how to fix it, then go ahead, by all means, touch it. Me personally, I'm trying not to touch it, but if really it doesn't do anything, if I'm using my finger to touch the board, then I'm happy. I don't have to worry about a thing, but still, I just choose not to touch it because I don't know how different this board is compared to a regular motherboard that you would put inside a computer. An ATX motherboard, a micro ATX motherboard, mini ITX. Those kinds of motherboards, because those you do have to touch in order to plug the components in. This one, you're not plugging any components in, and everything's already laid out for you. So, I mean, why touch it if it's working fine? Unless if you just want to fool around with it, then I can't blame you. So, that's pretty much my comparison, and I'll tell you what. Even though I like this one a little bit better, does not mean I don't like this one. If I could go back in time right now, I probably would just get this one versus having to get this one. But I'll leave this one at home, so that way if I'm in a situation where I have to do any backups or pull files off for somebody, which I actually did for a relative of mine, because their laptop wasn't working, and I let somebody borrow this one because they had a friend whose laptop was corrupted, and that's pretty much what I have to say. So I will leave purchase links for both of these through Amazon in the description below, and you decide which one you want to get. And like I said, it really depends on you. I can't tell you to specifically get this one over this one or get this one over this one, because it really just depends on what you like. If you're going to be traveling more, get this one. If you're going to be set in one building or one specific spot all the time, get this one. If you want something cheaper, get this one. If you don't care and you just want to make sure you have all the capabilities, so that way if you do have to install an operating system and you need an external optical drive, go ahead and get this one right here. Now, I did mention that I wanted to try to get this to see if it'll recognize my optical drive that I had in the BIOS, and I tried doing it, and when I tried to access the BIOS, it just slowed down, and it'll just say, please wait, please wait, please wait, and it'll never get there, and it caused me to shut down the computer, unplug this thing, and then when I get back into the BIOS again, then it reloaded it. I'm not sure if it's the computer itself or it's the optical drive itself. I'm going to try it again, and if you don't see any annotation or information here in this video that says I got it working, then that means I did not get it working. But I don't know if that's 100% true with this one, because if you're going to use this to install an operating system externally, then I can't see why this won't work. Maybe it's my computer or my optical drive. I'm not 100% sure, and I don't want to fully say that this doesn't work if you're trying to install an operating system and boot into the BIOS first to set the boot sequence, or if you're going to install OS X externally. So hopefully you guys got the idea. Thank you so much for watching. After seeing this video, which one do you guys like better? Do you like this one by Pluggable that's more stationary and it just stays still? Or do you like this one where you have the advantage to take this anywhere you go, in addition to using another type of hard drive, as well as using an optical drive in case your internal optical drive happens to burn out or stop working? You have a backup right there. I'd like to see where your thoughts are in the comments below right there. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, rate, and comment. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.